Today, we're going to talk about a music chart story that is so unlikely, it honestly feels like a glitch in the Matrix. We're talking about a band that didn't just hit number one. They rewrote the record books like 50 years after they first did it. It's absolutely wild. All right, let's just jump right in. Picture this. It's Christmas 2025. You're thinking about the number one album. Now, you know the Christmas number one spot. It's like the Super Bowl of the music industry, right? It's the single most competitive week of the whole year. So who do you think grabbed it? Some brand new pop superstar? A TikTok sensation? Nope. The answer is an album from 1975. Yeah, you heard that right. The biggest album of Christmas 2025 was 50 years old. Just let that sink in for a second. Half a century. And that album, it's none other than Pink Floyd's absolute masterpiece, Wish You Were Here. It actually did it. It snagged the official Christmas number one spot. I mean, talk about an unbelievable comeback story. And look, this wasn't just some, cute nostalgia trip. This was a legit number one chart-topping smash hit. It went all the way back to the peak of the UK charts during the busiest sales week of the entire year. Just incredible. So the big question is, how? How on earth does a 50-year-old rock album just blow past all the modern competition? Well, the answer is all about a perfectly timed anniversary celebration. And the timing on this is it's perfect. Back in 1975, the album hits number one. You fast forward exactly 50 years to 2025, and bam, it's right back at the top. That's a full circle moment you almost never, ever see in music history. So what kicked this whole thing off? It was the 50th anniversary edition. And this was not just a simple repackage. Oh no, this thing was a treasure chest for fans. We're talking 6 tracks that had never been released before, alternate takes, even original demos. This was the stuff that got lifelong fans totally fired up again, and it pulled in a whole new generation of listeners too. But here's where the story gets even crazier. This wasn't just a surprise Christmas hit. Pink Floyd's return to number one, it actually shattered a massive, long-standing record. They literally cemented their place in the history books in a totally new way. Okay, so what record are we talking about? It's for the longest gap. Basically, it measures the time between an artist's very first number one album and their most recent one. And well, Pink Floyd didn't just beat the record, they set a completely new standard. And to really get how huge this is, you have to know who they beat. The previous record holders? Only the Beatles. I mean, come on. Pink Floyd didn't just sneak past them, they blew the record wide open, stretching it to over 50 years. That's a gap that's going to be, wow, incredibly tough for anyone else to ever beat. So, you'd think that's the whole story, right? A record-breaking Christmas number one. But, get this. That was just the cherry on top of an already massive year for the band. Believe it or not, this wasn't even their first number one album in 2025. Yep, earlier in the year they put out a restored version of their live album, Pink Floyd at Pompeii, and that went to number one too, which means for the very first time in their entire legendary career, Pink Floyd scored 2 number one albums in the same calendar year. Just wow. But this whole story, it's about more than just that number one position. The success of Wish You Were Here really proves just how powerful and relevant this band still is today. Their legacy isn't fading. If anything, it's getting stronger. And if you look closer, the success goes even deeper. The album also topped the official vinyl albums chart. It led the record store chart. That shows you how much support there was from collectors, from people buying physical records in independent stores. So its appeal went way beyond just, a few streams online. So when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this. This wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just nostalgia. It is a testament to the absolutely timeless quality of their music. 5 decades later, Pink Floyd's influence is as powerful as it has ever been. This whole event really makes you wonder about the future of music, doesn't it? With vinyl making this huge comeback and these big anniversaries getting so much attention, you could say Pink Floyd just wrote the playbook for a totally new way to top the charts. So it leaves you thinking, what classic album is going to be next? Which legend is going to make a run for the top spot 50 years later?